Okay, do you want to try it on the phone, see if it's working?
Indeed.
This one's going to be a bit rough.
This is
and
going to
that's
be
fine.
rough. That's okay.
Oh, and we can see the chat. That's quite nice.
It is, but I'm also not seeing it come up.
Takes a moment.
Oh, well, that's because I'm locked into our own channel. There we are.
Look at that. That looks really good.
We are properly live.
I'm quite pleased with that.
You should be. You should be. Look at us.
All right. Here we are.
Things out. I'm sorry for anyone listening to this back, but you gotta figure out these things somehow.
Hello. Oh, look at that. Zambon's Film Emporium. He's changed his name.
Love it. There is indeed a chat.
There's a chat.
There's a chat.
Hi, Stephen. Welcome.
Alright, this is our first time trying a live stream, so you're going to have to let us know things like how the sound is, if you can hear us both.
Yeah, we've not tried doing a stream this way before.
No.
We've done it obviously via the PS4, or we've made a video and uploaded it, but this is the first time using this kind of background system.
We're trying Streamlab. It's exciting.
So I think we'll kind of hang about and I think we'll just kind of hang around and chat for
5 minutes?
Yeah, 5-10 minutes. Wait for people to arrive, and then we'll start the episode. So we decided we were going to do. We've kind of worked through a lot of the best stuff in season 3, and we were sort of thinking, well, it'd be nice to do some season 4.
Mm-hmm.
But then we found an episode, the reunion, which actually has kind of a precursor episode, and we thought, oh, well, why don't we do a kind of not consecutive 2-parter?
Yes.
Where you've got 2 episodes that continue the same story a year later. You used to be able to get these like DVD sets where it would be Star Trek TNG The Borg, and it's just the Borg episodes, or you could get like the Q episodes or whatever, So that was fun.
I like how intense Troy looks in our thumbnail.
I know.
She has this intense look and this horrible haircut, and the two things together just amuses me.
It is very good. She looks kind of like John Stamos.
She does. Season 3 is solid, but at this point, we haven't uploaded them all, but we've done commentaries to most of the good ones.
Sure, yeah. We did yesterday's Enterprise recently, so otherwise we would have done that.
Yes,
probably.
yes.
Because that's a solid kind of classic. I think actually this is a cast photo from season 5, as it happens.
Close enough.
So yeah, we're going to start in a few minutes. We're going to do the old kind of Valverde trick of doing...
put the timestamp to 0.
Put the timestamp, get your thing ready, and we'll do a countdown together, and then we'll get started.
Indeed.
So yes, how is everyone's Saturday?
Yes. How are we doing this fine Saturday? I'm going to go turn on the...
Oh, that's a good idea. I'm also going to text my brother and tell him he should come watch.
Live. But we should get some snazzy background music like Valverde has.
Yeah, all of that stuff is... I'm very new to that.
I don't know. I figured out how to do this pretty quickly.
Yeah. We may make the format look a bit better.
Yes, this was just a, let's see if we can do this.
We literally threw this together in like a half hour, so I'm pretty impressed at how quickly we did it.
I think we downloaded Streamlab about 24 minutes ago.
Yeah. Oh, it's very easy to use.
It is. I'm impressed.
Jellicoe got to wear a uniform. Yeah, that would have been after this, I guess.
I'm going to pull up the stream on my phone as well, because my eyesight isn't quite good enough to read the comments from here.
Sure, yeah, no problem. But now we have a way to do this. We can do films, we could do Bond, we can do all different things we want to do. We could start doing like Stargate and stuff eventually.
That would be so...
all of our favourite. You could even do some Doctor Who's if you want.
Yay! Oh, that would be fun.
Ronnie Cox.
Some point we could even, we could do whole Bond films.
Oh, Ronnie Cox is, yes, he's Admiral Jellicoe. That's not these episodes, that's the 2-parter Chain of Command. That's in season 6, which we haven't got to. That's the kind of famous one where Picard's being tortured. There are 4 lights! And all that, yeah.
This is also the first time we could probably do this because, as maybe we've hinted to in the commentaries, our Netflix was really crap.
It was bad.
We had multiple commentaries we recorded that we had to restart 10 minutes in because our Netflix just completely crashed.
Yeah, that got a little bit tiresome.
It really did. Well, it's why it put us off it for a while. But we've rejigged our TV system, so hopefully.
I think Omar's in favour of doing Bond. Bond.
All right, that could be fun.
Well, we did record one. We recorded.
Well, we recorded most of one.
Yeah, and then unfortunately we had a problem with the Zoom recorder ran out of battery.
Oh, it's always something, isn't it?
So we could redo that. We could just do it live.
We should. That'd be fun. Is our sound okay, guys? Because we're not using our good recorder, and the computer fan is kind of screaming.
Yeah,
so.
let us know if the sound is all right. I don't want it to be. I have a possible solution that I could get ready for next time.
Yes.
But
we'll do that for next time.
Yes. Depends on the Bond. Indeed.
I personally think we should just start from the beginning and work our way forward.
From all the Bonds?
I've never
Dr. No?
I've never watched them straight through.
Yeah, we tend to jump around, don't we?
Yeah, I'd kind of like to watch them straight through. I think that'd be fun.
Stephen's casting shade on George Lazenby. Which, fair enough. He's not the greatest actor.
There's only one of them, so you only have to miss one stream.
Right.
I mean, it barely counts, to be fair.
Yeah, we could also do kind of some unusual... it sounds vaguely like... Rare. Sound is fine, loving it. Okay, alright, that's good. John's here. You want to start with Dr. No? Well, we're not going to start with Casino Royale from the 60s with David Niven, so we're going to start with that. We thought. So, once everybody's got settled, I'll give you a minute or two to find your copies of Season 3.
How about we say we start in 2 minutes?
Yeah, we'll start in about 2 minutes. So we've been live...
At 8:46.
At 8:46, there we go. We'll start at 8:46. I'll count us in when we're all ready.
Indeed.
Yes, our cinemas are showing some of the Bond films live as well, which is nice.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
We should. I think we're coming up to the Brosnan era as well, which is nice. Cineworld is a world of cine is showing them every Monday.
Yeah, so this stream has been about learning Streamlab and figuring out how to upload live commentaries.
Yeah.
The next one will be about improving our sound. And the one after that might even be a schnazzier look. But
yes.
Lower your expectations.
Actually, you know what I don't have? My hoodie, my Star Trek hoodie's right over here, which I need to put on.
You do.
I need to grab that. That's
Watch
very important.
the stack of Pokemon cards by your feet.
No, I know, that's all right.
It wouldn't be our apartment if there wasn't a stack of Pokemon cards on the floor.
Of course. I'm just really proud of us for getting this background sorted out.
Oh,
I think
you did
it
a
looks really
beautiful
good.
job.
Well, you figured out the program.
Yeah, you designed a beautiful backdrop. Teamwork.
Are these real people? Oh no, these are our actual people.
Yeah, I think they are real people.
Okay. I just thought that was a... Yeah.
No, it's real people.
I thought it was a sample or something.
No,
That's
we
good.
do actually have... I think we're at 21 subscribers.
21 subscribers, look at that. And a year ago, this didn't even exist.
Exactly. Are you going to be hiccuping like that character in
No.
Stargate all night?
Lieutenant Novak.
Oh, Lord. If you know
That was
what
a
we're
mistake.
talking about, you know what we're talking about. Have you got Sky history? No, we don't. I don't. Actually, we don't have Sky, period.
No, we don't have Sky TV, so yeah, we don't have that. What is it? Good stuff on that? I hope. I quite like history, so I wouldn't mind watching a bit. I tend to.
Is it real history or History Channel history?
Yeah. I tend to listen to audiobooks of history books if I'm listening to history at all.
Should we?
How are we getting?
I think we are at time. Should we? Is everyone prepared?
All right. If you have your
This is your 30-second warning to get
your
up.
30-second warning to get up, Season 3, Episode 17, Sins of the Father. Sarah.
Did you see Stephen's comments? The long one.
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm aware that, yeah, you're right. First and second season uniform. Well, they were causing back problems for the actors, and,
Jesus. All right, shall we?
Let's do it. We're going to count in from 5. We're not going to do anything ridiculous like 37. So here we go. Season 3, Episode 17, Sins of the Father. Counting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh god, I think it might have worked.
Oh, so a beautiful shot of the bird of prey.
Oh, this is the one with the exchange program. Yes.
Oh no, that was last season. That was last season where he has to eat the gach.
I love that. I love that when Riker decides to be all badass and go on a Klingon ship.
Now, I have not watched this one in a while, so I will have... Yes, this is interesting. I don't remember the plot of this too much.
Well, we're mostly watching this episode because we wanted to watch the reunion.
Yeah.
So what is the plot of this one? We have a young Klingon officer coming aboard.
Commander Kern, which is the introduction of the great actor Tony Todd.
Oh, that's a very scruffy Klingon. This isn't Worf's brother, is it?
It is Worf's brother.
It is Worf's brother. I'm impressed, to be honest, that the makeup artist managed to make each Klingon look unique enough that I can tell that I can say, okay, yes, that is Worf's brother.
Yes. I think casting different actors who have different faces.
Well, yes, obviously the facial structure underneath helps, but still, the actual makeup work and the hair, that all plays a massive role in it.
Right.
I find it quite impressive.
Riker gives good side eye. I am Kern.
Oh, God. Sort of like season 1 Riker eating worms to prove he's been taken over by an evil space worm in conspiracy. I refuse to watch that episode.
Oh, yeah.
I refuse.
On season 3 Blu-ray, Sins of the Father was upscaled in places because the negatives were partially lost. Yes, there's quite a few episodes where they actually couldn't find the original footage, and so you end up seeing kind of an odd, overly grainy shot, which is actually taken from the TV scans, I guess. On the whole, they've done a brilliant job with this show. It looks like it was shot yesterday in the Blu-ray conversion. It's a real shame they're probably not going to do Voyager and Deep Space Nine because there's just so much CG work that would have to be done. I think like half of the ship model, the CGI ship models have been lost. Nobody knows where it is.
Mm-hmm. I just love how grumpy Worf looks in this.
Are we not acknowledging that he's Worf's brother in this?
It doesn't seem like it. Worf just gave him a really nasty look and then moved on.
Whee!
Go ship,
goes the ship. So I'm watching with my my Eagle Moss models. We're not gonna skip the intro. We're gonna keep that going. So
of course,
time code.
Although my hands like reflexively went to the remote.
I know.
Just so used to skipping it.
See you in a minute, Stephen.
Yep.
Be back for episode 2.
See, I saw the do I'm looking after. I got very confused.
Oh yes.
We can give you a time code when you get back if you need.
So pretty. I mean, you got to say, like after the original series, this is the next ship they show you. Mm-hmm. It's quite a radical departure from the original series.
It really
isn't it?
I mean, especially since I only watched Star Trek much later on. I was aware of the A, B, C, D. I was aware of the whole lineage, so it kind of made sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see this when it premiered, and thus the first ship I saw after the original series Enterprise was this one.
Right.
That must have been quite jarring.
And also, it doesn't. I mean, some of the shots look pretty good in season 1, but they don't shoot it in a very interesting way. Mm-hmm. It's often just like directly side on, going past like this, and then they add ships.
Least interesting angles.
And it's like it doesn't really look that good. It looks much better from a sort of 3/4 angle, or they got more inventive with it later on.
They did. Well, that also had to do with the support for the actual model, right?
It did. I mean, this one, what you're seeing here, this is the 6-foot model, which was so heavy. I think it took like 6 people to carry this. It also had a power source that was high voltage to run all the lights inside it, and it kept shocking people.
Oh no!
They would get like a shock, because even if you touch something near it, it would arc to your hand.
Oh, it's like Bruce Boxleitner. Is it
yeah, that's
Lighter or Liner?
Leitner.
Leitner. I was half right.
Bruce Boxleitner.
Bruce Boxleitner, we saw him speak at a Comic-Con on Long Island, and he was talking about when he was in Tron. And if you're aware of the original Tron with the light suits, they had those little, like, light strips going down them. But apparently they weren't wired terribly well. So every now and then, if an actor got too sweaty, the suit would just start shocking them.
Oh, God.
While they were acting in the movie.
Oh.
Exactly. He's like, and you would just rush to go and get the thing off.
Right.
Which is fantastic.
Glad you had fun on Ed's stream today, Omar. Yeah, that was good fun. I enjoy that. We're going to try and do more of those in future. I think we might designate Saturdays as Nostalgia Stream Day if they're available. We might do like an every other week or every 2 or 3 weeks thing.
That'd be fun. Like John, I still protest the whole having families on a highly dangerous military exploration vessel.
Well, exactly. I mean, you end up with situations where most of the time it's sort of nothing.
Oh God, we've lost the kindergarten!
Yeah. And then they have to go head-to-head with a Romulan battlecruiser. It's like, well, this doesn't seem like the wisest place to take a preschool on board. Tron is one of those movies I remember being better than it actually was. Yeah, there are things that don't need to be revisited. TNG is not one of those. TNG should be revisited. This is where Worf's makeup started looking a lot better too, because season 1 Worf was a bit rough.
Yes. You know what's something I just noticed?
Hmm.
Worf has much better teeth than most Klingons. Which makes me wonder if at some point he had braces. Because I love the idea of little teenage Worf
my God.
running around on Earth with braces.
Babby Worf with braces. That's an amazing idea.
I love it. I'd never thought about that. And his teeth are also much whiter, but that might just be because his parents actually taught him to brush. Maybe he doesn't just use one of those drill things that the rest of them use.
We lost the ball pit in the Build-A-Bear.
I mean, if any ship had Build-A-Bear,
it would be this.
It would be this. It's right next to the cetacean lab.
And the vegan restaurant. Yeah. And the yoga parlor.
I mean, we know there's the yoga parlor.
Right.
We see it. Oh, God.
This guy has a very long storied history with Star Trek. I mean, he appeared as Kern several more times in The Next Generation and in Deep Space Nine. He also plays an elderly Jake Sisko in one of my favourite episodes of Star Trek ever, The Visitor. Where you remember the really heartbreaking one where he grows up without his dad?
Oh, yeah.
And he becomes a great writer, but he misses his father.
Oh, that one hurts. And you realize towards the end of the episode that he's still deeply traumatized.
Oh, yeah. It's awful.
Where did they get that turkey? Do they just have, like, a turkey pen?
He said they replicated it.
Okay, alright.
He said they replicated it.
That is quite impressive replication.
It's a nice spread. Picard's having trouble with his carving there, but...
You'd think that they'd have, like, a laser carver or something.
Surely. He needs some future one. Ooh.
Oh.
And some Ritz crackers! Look, there's Ritz crackers! Delicacy from the Caspian Sea. It's supposed to snort it off the back of your hand.
Oh God, this is even worse because it's real caviar, not fake stuff. And
Oh God, is he wasting it?
Yeah,
no.
And Picard, did you see his face? He's like, oh,
it pains him. Pains him.
Oh, it hurts.
This has echoes of Undiscovered Country. The other thing, you know the scene in Star Trek: The Undiscovered Country, right? Mm-hmm. Where they're all sitting around the dinner table and they're quoting things to each other like Shakespeare, and then somebody says something. I can't remember what it is, but Kirk immediately recognises the quote and goes, "Earth, Hitler, 1938." That was shot in this exact set because they redressed this which means that this actually is kind of a precursor to that, of them all having an awkward dinner with a Klingon. Mm-hmm. It's kind of interesting.
It is. Look at Worf's fork. Oh, look at the forks. They're so ridiculously detailed. That's a good...
Don't waste real Gavia.
It hurts. It hurts me. Oh, God, and he spits it out. Oh.
If you can replicate a turkey, could you replicate, in theory, a live one? So is the Enterprise God? That's a very Stanislav Lem, do androids dream of electric sheep kind of question. I think somewhere they must point out that the replicator can't reproduce live things.
Mm-hmm.
That it can reproduce things you can eat, consume, stuff you can consume, stuff you can drink.
But it can't create life.
And like tools and things, I guess. It can make clothes.
To be fair, though, it clearly can't create live things, but in theory, it can create uncooked chicken, like a whole uncooked chicken. Like we're skirting some lines here.
It's getting close to the, growing meat in a vat thing. Well, they're going to acknowledge that they are related then. I mean, it makes sense that they don't get on because they grew up separately. Right?
Yes. It's not the ship of a warrior. Not the ship of a Klingon.
What are you doing here? Now, when do we get the introduction of the great Robert O'Reilly, Gowron? That might be in season 4.
I don't think they're acknowledging that they're brothers.
Maybe they came up with that later.
They might have come up with that later.
That might have been a retcon. Can't appreciate Shakespeare until you've heard it in the original Klingon. Yes, that's a line that was maybe like, what? What? I mean, they're making fun of the, hearing it in Old English.
I would love to hear that.
Now, obviously, we're watching this with the sound off, so what we're missing is these two and their great voices battling each other. Ooh!
Yay! Nevia.
There we go.
What is Nevia? I like that they actually translated the Klingon, or they included the Klingon in the captions.
I love that we know what the... to answer a question from earlier, Omar asked if I'd ever played Star Trek Final Unity. And in Star Trek Final Unity, at one point, you find an alien paperclip. If you ask Worf what it is, he will say it is a Marv-Yop. So now we know what the Klingon for paperclip is.
Okay.
Which is great. That's canon.
Discovery
isn't, but that's canon.
The only words of Klingon I know.
Yep.
Marv-Yop.
You know one other. The most famous one.
Kapla.
There you go. That's the one.
Well, that one I said amongst the Klingon I knew.
What does God need with a starship? Jim, you don't want to ask the Almighty for his ID.
That movie was not as bad as I remembered it.
Final Frontier?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, obviously Valverde have gone hard in on defending it. The first time I actually properly reassessed it was actually Red Letter Media did a really good commentary as Mr. Plinkett that we should watch at some point, where he went through it. And he points out all the problems that the film has, but he says, look, it has all this really great, interesting, conceptual stuff going on in it, and it's true to the source material, so it gets unfairly maligned. I think the thing that lets it down in some places is the pacing and also the special effects, which compared to the other movies are just not as good because of the fact that Industrial Light and Magic were busy.
What were they busy with?
At that time, that would have been, what, 89? So possibly... There is an answer to that. I don't think I know it.
They just acknowledged the brother thing. He said, you're here to watch me. No, I'm here to say that I am your brother and our father, and there's a challenge that you can do.
To reclaim your honor, right?
And your place as a Klingon?
Indeed. The charge has been made by Duras. It's very soap opera. It's like, well, we'll just say you have a secret brother.
There we go.
Secret long lost brother.
There are some really good soap opera-ish episodes of TNG.
Sure. At this point, there was so much less established about what the Klingon culture is really like. Like, we knew it was an honor-bound culture and whatever, but the ideas that really established what we now think of as Klingon culture mostly came from this and Deep Space Nine. It's so nice seeing proper professional Picard.
Isn't it lovely? Whenever we get around to uploading some of the commentaries we've recorded, you'll notice we bring up Picard a lot.
We do, but the thing is, it's a current kind of problem. It's a current issue.
It is.
We're watching this, and that's what they've gone and done with all these characters.
We have strong feelings, guys. We're sorry.
Look at that beautiful ship.
It's so pretty.
The beautiful space mummy I live inside.
That's a reference.
That is a reference to the wonderful channel Scotchbox. If you go and watch Scotchbox, he talks about the Enterprise D as his space mummy.
I love it so much. I like how all of them have very different head ridges.
I always figured that was for kind of, they're a bit like Triceratops, they like jostle with each other.
Oh, I'm sure.
Butt heads. Like antlers, I think.
Oh yeah, I'm sure those things are very robust, shall we say. I like in the captions, they decided to uppercase certain letters within the Klingon. Like, there's actual decisions made there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so he's pretending not to be his brother. I really don't remember this episode. It's been a long time.
I don't know if you've ever watched it.
No, I've
Perhaps
definitely watched it. It's just been a long, long time. I don't think I've watched it since you first introduced me to Star Trek.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, okay, not introduced me to Star Trek. Obviously, I was aware of Star Trek, but I just didn't know where to start. That was more when I was in my Doctor Who phase.
Sure.
But I have no idea where to start with.
I have to say, I do love the kind of RGB stars as they go by.
It's a good effect.
It also makes me think of that era of Doctor Who. I think it was the Peter Davison era, where they all had like star streams and flares going by.
Is this a map painting?
This is a beautiful map painting. That was. I think this is the first time we've seen Honos, the home planet of the Klingons.
It's a very beautiful map painting.
I think it's perfect for what the Klingons would look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a Klingon planet would look like.
Although this looks just a little bit like an evil office building. It's
look at this amazing hall. This is so great.
It's really cool. It's a little too clean. Oops.
No.
Sorry about that, guys. Someone's decided to do something outside.
Now, is this a redress of the engineering set?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because it's really tall at the end. I think that must be what it is. Do we seriously have to do this now? Yeah.
Ugh.
Our neighbours have a habit of just messing with vehicles. It's a really weird time to start doing it.
Our neighbours like vehicles, apparently.
Look at that lovely map painting.
It really is quite lovely. We're just here to gush over map paintings.
I just think they have so much more charm than just kind of CG, cold, heartless nonsense.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially the way that they've done Kronos in the more recent films and series. Like, Kronos shows up in the end of Discovery Season 1. They go there. And it's this kind of weird, hollowed out... It's got caves inside it and stuff. And in Into Darkness, they go there. And it's this really weird... It looks like a Borg planet or something. I don't really know what they think they're doing with Kronos. It just doesn't look good.
Yeah.
You can believe there's a civilization on this planet, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's a good point, actually. Maybe the earlier iterations of the Klingons, I think maybe they did lean too hard into the dirty savages thing later on. This feels more like because I think later on they lean into it so hard you start to wonder, how do these savages even have a civilization?
How do they have space travel? Yeah.
How do they have space travel? How do they have a civilization? This at least seems to imply a somewhat competent society. Somewhat.
Like I sort of think this Klingon leader of the High Council, this character with his amazing medals and stuff. He looks like he might be modelled after Zhukov or something, some Russian general with tons of decoration. You know?
I think John might know Klingon. He says, in Klingon, uppercase means that the sound is stressed harder.
Oh, cool! Tach, pach, tach, bech! To be or not to be? That is the question.
I'm so impressed. I did know how to write in Gallifreyan for a time.
Have you ever invented a language?
No, I haven't invented a language.
I knew somebody who invented a language once and invented the script for it. It was gorgeous. Beautiful. Here he is. This is Duras.
Written Gallifreyan has been developed, though.
Oh,
and
nice.
I did know how to write in Gallifreyan.
I love invented languages. They're so cool. I was never much into Elvish myself, but I know people that do know that.
Words in Gallifreyan are easy. Sentences get hard.
Yeah.
It's a circular language, which is really cool.
Oh, right. Like the heptapods.
Yes,
From
yes,
Arrival.
yes.
So yeah, this is an introduction of a minor villain, Duras. He remains a villain through... I mean, if you think about it, he remains a villain through Star Trek Generations, if you can believe. Because it's his stupid sisters, Lursa and Bator, with their stupid bird of prey, that take down the Enterprise eventually.
Oh, God, no.
And it's like, of all the enemies to take down the Enterprise D,
That should not...
it should not be Lursa and Bator.
I still consider that a bit of an insult.
Right.
It's up there with how they killed off Tasha Yar.
Oh yeah, that's a bit of a mistake.
Like, this person deserves more. The ship deserves more. Like,
I think that was probably an early version of the Star Trek getting stuck with what people think they know about it. Because they're selling the first big Star Trek movie without Kirk and Spock. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they knew how to just let it be the Romulans.
Yeah.
If it was the Romulans, it would make so much more sense.
Yeah, there's no reason for it.
Have it get taken down by a big Romulan warbird. That would have been so much more interesting.
Yes. No, there is no reason for the Klingon subplot.
Esperanto? Oh yes, I've heard of Volapük. One of only 20 known people who can speak Volapük. I also love the lighting, kind of smoky look of it. I was never that into the Klingon politics stuff. I think I just appreciate these more now because I can appreciate the kind of craftsmanship that went into all the costumes and the lighting and trying to create the world and the atmosphere of it. Mm-hmm. I just realised the ninth Star Trek film was an STI acronym. Yes, Insurrection. Not the best. Not the best film.
It's not the worst, but it's not the best.
Yeah, I think it could have been a lot better. It's that's a film that definitely the things that were interesting about it got kind of shaved down because of studio notes and stuff.
That was interesting to hear more about.
Yeah, like I didn't know about the earlier versions of it.
Like this one has very different forehead ridges.
Right. So if you're head of the High Council, does that mean you're the Emperor? I don't think we hear about the Klingon Emperor all that much. What we hear about is the High Chancellor.
Mm-hmm. How much do we know about the Klingon hierarchy?
I mean, they call themselves the Klingon Empire, which suggests that there's an Emperor.
Do we meet the Klingon Emperor at some point?
You got me. Effectively, the de facto leader is the Chancellor. It seems.
Yes.
Because Chancellor Gowron is the main character in he's the main head honcho in Undiscovered Country, who gets assassinated, right? Ooh, that's the first mention of the Intrepid.
Ah.
Now, that's going to have to be a different class of ship called Intrepid, because there is an Intrepid that would be the first of the Intrepid class, of which Voyager is another one.
Indeed. One of my personal favorite ships, as you know.
Voyager's wonderful, yeah.
Ooh, are we doing a sneaky trader thing?
Yep. in this one corridor that probably... I think this corridor originated on the Enterprise A.
This is the same one that they... oh god, what's the parallel universe episode of... is that Voyager?
There is there's a circular corridor on that. There's also the one where Neelix gets his lungs taken out, which has this corridor in it.
Yes.
There's a lot of this corridor with the circular
It's this exact set, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. There's certain ones that have been around since forever. I mean, I think the longest surviving set... I don't know why I know this. The longest surviving set was the turbo lift that was originally built for the motion picture and was still in use in the Next Generation movies in the year 2002.
Cool.
Which is, like, in itself, that's like a piece of history.
That's pretty cool. And the thing is, okay, my issue with these corridors, obviously, or at least to me, it seems obvious that they were based off of submarine corridors.
Uh-huh.
But there's a reason why in a submarine you have all of those bulkheads going around and those horrible constant tripping hazards.
Mm-hmm.
But in a building,
right?
Which I think we were just in a building. We hadn't gotten to a ship yet, had we? We were still down on the planet.
I think we were on the planet. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no reason to have that on a building on a planet where you just have a tripping hazard.
It just means it's difficult to take like wardrobes and fridges through that corridor. It just makes it a real hassle to try and get stuff through the room. Yeah.
Oh boy. I have a thing about this. I have a thing about impractical corridors and impractical doors.
Yeah.
It's like Babylon 5, as much as I adore that show.
The kind of weird
doors.
What the hell? Yeah.
The
parallelogram-shaped doors or whatever.
And the way they open, they're just like, you have to walk around the bottom of the door slat.
Right, yeah.
This is either a great way to trip or to destroy your ankles.
Like, you can't tell me that that's a very structurally sound door either.
It's really not.
Like, a circular door makes sense if you've got a pressurized compartment, because the circular door is very strong.
Yes.
Because there's no weak points.
These parallelogram things make no sense. John, as a child I went to Esperanto camp, holidays in France. Yeah, I rocked and rolled.
That reminds me of Dr. Evil in one of the films. He says, "My childhood was pretty normal. I had summers in Rangoon and luge lessons. Pretty standard, really."
Omar also cannot remember an Emperor of the Klingons, so
yeah,
at least it's not just us.
I just really like how they developed the Klingon Empire, because it was sort of hinted at in the original series, but not that much. The thing is, people remember the Klingons as this major villain. They don't really show up in that many episodes in the original series. I think there's like 6 or 7 Klingon episodes.
Yes, well, also after the original appearance of the Klingons.
Yes.
As Worf says, we don't talk about it.
We do not talk of it. Yeah.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad.
I mean, really, these are motion picture Klingons, because that's when they introduced the kind of ridged forehead and
the actual... Oh, God.
Actually, again, some of the sets from motion picture were still in use in Next Generation. Like the motion picture bridge for the Klingon ships, that was, I think, still used as Klingon bridges in this show.
Okay.
As were some of the uniforms. I think were still being used later on. They kept everything. I mean, that was what's so kind of distressing about when they sold everything off. It's like, oh, they're really not making any more Star Trek. This is it. They're selling it all.
Is that the one we've watched the documentary about?
We did, yes, we did.
If you haven't, there's an excellent documentary about that sale, when they're prepping everything and the actual auction of the stuff. It's very good. It's very well made.
The big Christie's auction, that's where they sold off, all of the ship models, all of the uniforms, all the little props, like even crazy stuff, like little things people got put on their forehead for neural stimulator or whatever. Probably somebody's got that giant Klingon insignia in their house.
And watching them go through that warehouse of props is just unreal.
You know what I'd love is if they had that giant insignia in a country house somewhere and it says "Live, Life, Love" underneath it. I think that would just be so great.
Oh, I want it.
Or Faith or something, yeah.
Yep, in the really slightly cheesy font as a wall sticker.
Yep, you can get from Michael's. Yeah.
Oh, love it.
It'd be amazing. Lies from the son of a traitor. Now, is this before Picard becomes the arbiter of succession? I think it might be.
It is, yeah.
I think that happens in Reunion, doesn't it? Well, we'll find out. I've got my ships. I'm going to play with my ships.
Yay!
It's time to get the ships out, guys. Getting serious here.
I like that you may test that assumption at your convenience. Picard can be a real badass when he wants to be, but in a different way. He's just exceptionally cool, calm, and collected.
Exactly. And he's showing the strength of his resolve without rash acts.
Yes.
Which is entirely...
He's a stone.
Ooh.
Ah. What have we...
Has no one ever looked into this incident before? Like, why are we only just finding this out now?
So wait, is this... I missed. Is this Worf's... Are they saying it's Worf's mother?
Possibly?
Apologies, guys. It's been a while since we've seen this one.
Or is it Duras's mother?
It's been a while since we've seen this. I'm
We
trying
don't
to keep
know,
up
yeah.
with the captions. It's a bit much.
The Okudas. Oh yeah, well Michael and Denise Okuda. You know the panels, right, all across the Enterprise Bridge. Those are called Okudagrams because they were designed by Mike Okuda.
Ah, okay.
So if you have, I mean, that's what I really would love to do, is to do an Okudagram for the stream.
Oh, that'd be cool.
With all the little numbers and the kind of the orange and purple kind of colours for them.
That would be cool. We'll work on that, guys.
Yeah, we'll get something like that going. It would be really nice to design that.
Oh, okay, so we're just doing the trial of was father a traitor.
He's got some sort of official uniform on.
It's the robe of shame.
Ah. Well,
I don't actually...
Picard's got like a knife on him.
Yeah, they gave... he gets that as
the witness, okay.
Apparently, if things don't go the right way, there's a big fight and Picard has to fight.
Right, lovely.
Which, I mean, I do want to see.
That's dangerous.
It's fine, he's already been stabbed through the heart once. Once, twice.
Gosh, mock.
Ah, okay. Okay. No. I do really appreciate that whoever did the captions for this, got the Klingon right?
Right. Is it conceivable that whoever they got to do the captions knew Klingon?
Or at least reached out to someone who
She
did.
was like, okay, I need to do this
Because
properly.
even the cap locks are, or the uppercase, lowercases are correct.
Yeah, because you know how it is. Klingons know their... Trekkies know their stuff.
They do.
Look at this beautiful distressed concrete set. This looks more like Star Wars to me.
Yeah, but this is a little bit more like how I imagine the Klingons.
Yeah.
It's just a little grubbier than our proper hall.
It looks like it could be on Tatooine.
I like how he just walks in the front door. I mean, I know they're savages, but...
No.
Nice shadow.
Yeah, this one's lit a lot better, isn't it?
Actually, I kind of like her outfit.
We don't see a lot of elderly Klingon women ever, do we?
No, we don't. You don't really get the impression that many of them get to old age.
She's just been living in this hole for the last 30 years. Right?
Yeah.
You mean subtitles? Oh god, what did you say instead of subtitles?
I assume I said captions.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know. I imagine knowing the nature of nerds, they didn't dare get the Klingon wrong.
Yeah, the Trekkies you don't want to piss off are the ones that know Klingon.
Mm-hmm. So this is when... Season 3, most people think that's when Next Gen got really good.
She said the Moog was loyal to the Emperor, so there was an Emperor.
There was an Emperor, but now there's not. Maybe they've... I mean, this is possibly there was an Emperor that stepped down. Maybe they're doing it a bit like the war with Japan or something, where the Emperor was... The Japanese emperor was forced to step back into a ceremonial role after World War II. And they're sort of suggesting maybe that was how they established peace with the Federation, is that they stopped being quite so aggressive militarily.
It seems implied. Seems heavily implied. Picard, maybe you put the hood up before you step outside? Yelling in Klingon. Alright, well.
Well, you've got your Star Trek uniform right there. Trip it over! Just grab his leg.
Oh, this is interesting. In the Klingon language circles exists a large debate due to mispronunciations by Christopher Lloyd in Search for Spock. Interesting.
Well,
interesting.
perhaps he had an obscure dialect.
Yeah, there we go. Maybe he was just stupid.
He was supposed to be... I'm messing with the mic because subtitles are called closed captions in the US. Oh, of course they are. Closed captions.
Oh. Well, wait, isn't the icon... No, now this is a real question. Isn't the icon in the UK still a little box that says CC in it?
Yes, maybe it is.
Or is it not? I'm confused. My life is a
Okay,
lie.
I see.
Omar, you tease my Americanisms.
That old woman's got some fight in her.
She
Just took
does.
out a full-grown warrior.
Well, again, I really don't think you get to that age as a Klingon if you're not kind of badass.
If you can't handle yourself, yeah. Because when I was a kid, like, this was the Enterprise. The Enterprise D was in it. Like, that was everywhere.
When he says this, he's holding a model
I'm
on
holding...
the Enterprise D.
I'm playing with my Eagle Moss XL size Enterprise D, which is beautiful. I've never had one quite this nice. This is really gorgeous.
Oh, they're beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I assume everyone here knows about Eagle Moss.
If you don't know about Eagle Moss, they don't just do Star Trek either. They've been doing Stargate models. They've done the main ships from Alien and Aliens and so on.
They've done some Doctor Who stuff too.
They did some Doctor Who. They've done Battlestar Galactica. And like they do figurines of some of the Marvel characters as well. So it's... Yeah, they do it's part of that company called Hero Collector.
But they have, what, hundreds of Star Trek ships at this point?
Oh god, there's got to be 300 by now. We don't have that many. We
only have 80% of that.
Yeah, well, we've got a sizable collection, I have to say, but
it's
not that big.
We are slightly slow. We're not aiming for completion, just the ones we actually like.
Like, I don't need random little Klingon tugs and things. I don't need the fake Delta Flyer from that one terrible episode of Voyager. Like, we're not getting that.
You are still fat. And we don't need the cloaked Defiant, which is just resin poured into the Defiant mold.
That's so lazy. That's clearly a case of, like, Discovery's been taking up all their time. They don't have time to do a convention special, so they just do that.
But, for the most part, we love the Eagle Moss models.
Okay. So there's So
the Count's actually new.
An official secret here.
It's true, we should have the really scary, ugly demon dogs.
Oh, yeah. Cisco's Solar Sailor, Bajoran Solar Sailor reproduction. We have that one. It's sitting over there.
It's sitting right in front of the TV. I wanted it for ages and ages and ages, but since it's so spindly, it's a bit infamous for breaking in transport. Yeah. So I waited until we found one at a con in person.
It was intact.
It's beautiful. I absolutely love that model.
It's perfection, yeah. I think that's one of the nicest things ever designed for Star Trek, actually, the Solar Sailor.
No, I love my little solar sailor. Most of the ships you have collected, but I've added a few to the collection.
You've got one of my other favourites, the Alice, the little shuttle.
I love Alice. I also got the extra large NX-01 at the last con, and it is beautiful. That is a really beautiful bottle.
It's so shiny.
It is so shiny. Nice little resin orbs. Oh, it's great. 10 out of 10 would recommend. The card will divide you.
Oh, they're not going to declare war over that. Oh, it's so nice seeing him as like diplomat Picard. He's actually. The thing is, even though you very often see Picard trying to be reasonable and kind of smooth things over, you do also see him get his back up here and there. You do see him like he's willing to defend the Federation because he's the representative when they go and meet with the Romulans. If the Romulans are up to stuff, he's the one that's got to tell them, look, I represent the full might of the Federation. Should you decide to take illegal action. Yeah, they're fucking about with the neutral zone or whatever.
Yes. The neutral zone always seems... I mean, the problem with the neutral zone is the only time we see it in the show is when they've decided to define it. So it doesn't actually appear that effective within the show.
They go into the neutral zone constantly.
They just dance around in the neutral zone.
Ooh.
Yeah, hot is good. Time to stab it out.
So this is kind of a major character development for Worf. So he has to accept dishonor.
His nice slap. It's, I love the slow
Peck
nod.
likes that. Have to smack him like a bitch.
Smack bitch. I like that. He's like, I'm going to be publicly dishonored, but you better remember that you are actually the one who's been dishonorable.
You have to live with that. There's also a slightly odd thing in Klingon morality, which is that this is the title of the episode: "Sins of the Father can be visited upon the next generation." Right, so which is not part of our jurisprudence, of course. It's a Defiant-shaped CD player for sale on eBay, but it's 90. Wait, have I heard of this?
Well, you're gonna have to look that up.
I am looking it up right now.
Card
USS Defiant CD player. Bless you.
Thank you. I like this shame circle. The Klingon shame circle.
They might have borrowed that from Chairman Mao, from the Maoist shame circles,
Oh
right?
god, with them all turning away from... Oh, that's harsh.
I know. We all do it one by one, so it feels worse.
Oh, Worf.
Yeah, look at that.
Okay, that's pretty
That's
cool.
pretty great. It's a shame it doesn't look more like... I think my favourite thing is the example pictures of people using it. You can take it to the beach.
Oh yes, I'm going to take my Defiant CD player to the beach. Oh, I love it. That would actually be really fun to have.
It's a shame it just doesn't look quite enough like the...
Defiant.
You know where you want to put the Defiant display, right in there?
Yeah, well, I guess it
Right
would
in
have
the
to be
top part.
kind of massive to fit in there. Well, there you have it. There's our first
So there's episode 1 of 2. I think we're going to take a little break between this and the next one, just so we can kind of get our bearings.
Indeed.
But then we will move on to season 4, episode Blair, the reunion. I forget which one it is.
Let's see. Let's find out.
So, do we have final thoughts on that episode? You didn't remember it.
I really didn't remember it. It's but I'm surprised that I don't remember it because they revisit Worf's dishonoring so many times moving forward. I'm kind of surprised that I have forgotten the actual moment when it happens. It's a good episode. I mean, to be honest, I think it's one of those episodes that sets up something important, but it doesn't do too much on its own. It does give you root the Klingons a little bit better. It gives you some background. It's just kind of one of those episodes where I feel like you need it for certain reasons, but for me, it almost doesn't stand on its own.
Sure.
It just sets up loads of stuff you need to know for later.
Yeah. It's
Those
that
are
kind
my
of
feelings.
episode. Yeah.
Those episodes are just as necessary to create a good full world.
You know what? It's not the most interesting episode of The Next Generation, but it sets up a lot of important stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the craft that goes into creating that Klingon world. Because that episode, I hadn't quite appreciated how much that did to establish what the new Klingons were going to look like. But we hadn't really, I don't think we'd ever seen the Klingon homeworld before. Because you've got to remember, in Search for Spock, the Klingons are there, but you don't see Kronos.
True. Yeah.
In the motion picture, you don't see it, you just see a ship. The original series, I don't think you ever see Kronos, although it's mentioned, maybe, as being the Klingon homeworld. So it's been established for a long time, but this is the first time we actually go there. It's also the first time we sort of see what the internal politics of the Klingon world is.
Yeah, see how the society works a little bit.
And, it's not necessarily the most interesting stuff about Star Trek, but I appreciate that they were trying to kind of really build up an interesting culture.
And they did very slowly over TNG and DS9.
Right.
Especially once you get into DS9, I think.
Oh, sure. Well, they arguably overdid it slightly in Deep Space Nine. There's so much Klingon stuff in Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, maybe they overdid it a little bit, but I mean, I'd take that over more episodes developing Ferengi culture.
Oh, yeah, I know. But, Deep Space Nine really took all of the stuff that Next Gen did and really kind of ran with it and enriched it in a way that Voyager just kind of didn't.
Yeah. We will not be watching Ferengi episodes on this channel.
No, unless we get very drunk.
I mean, we'll watch, if we get to we can watch DS9 at some point and episodes with, Quark on the station and things.
Yeah.
Specific Ferengi episodes, no.
I think someone won an Emmy for designing the Klingon homeworld. I'm not surprised, actually. It's beautiful. It's such a nice... It's nice to revisit it. I used to not like the Klingon episodes all that much, but, this is a good one.
Indeed.
Taking your Defiant CD player to the beach, just in case you need to tell people to beat you up. No, because they can't handle how cool you are. Are you kidding?
Exactly.
Especially if you've got one of those sets of headphones which has a really fuzzy part over your ears, and then like those metal braces that go over your head.
Yeah.
And everyone can hear you listening to Huey Lewis in the news or whatever.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, that's good.
You hear you listening to the White Album.
Should we move on to reunion?
Okay. We're nearly at 1 hour exactly. Let's wait until 1 hour.
Okay, sounds good.
It might also give Stephen a chance to come back.
Yes, what did that dog do?
I think he took a long walk, is what he's taken.
I was just wondering what the dog must have done for him to still be out.
Yes. I don't really know DS9, so I need to crash course. Well, Deep Space Nine...
very much worth a watch.
I think Deep Space Nine is the most bingeable one of all of these, because, Next Gen is very... there are sort of overarching plots, but Deep Space Nine really went hard in. It's the one that's most like new...
yes.
New TV, where it's all serialized, there's continuing stories, there's a lot of development of characters over a long time, as opposed to, Voyager kind of doesn't have any of that, really.
No, it didn't. As much as I love Voyager, it didn't.
The first 3 seasons of Deep Space Nine, I will say, are a bit rough in places. It takes a it takes a bit of willpower to get through all of that. But once you get there, all of the best stuff is really good because you've watched it through.
Yes.
You know?
It's not the kind of... Well, that was actually why we started rewatching, because initially we tried to watch it, and you introduced me to it, showing me the best episodes.
Right.
But it just felt so full of holes, because it really is meant to watch everyone, even the bad ones. It just doesn't work to cut it up. So you just kind of have to jump into the whole thing.
And they realised at a certain point it was a mistake to have a show entirely set on a space station with no ship.
A space show with no ship, so we can't go into space.
It's a sort of similar problem to Stargate Atlantis, where eventually they had to get a ship because they can't go everywhere in little puddle jumpers.
I like the paddle.
I know, I love them too, and I love the runabouts too. I just love little ships like that that you can fly around on. Okay.
Alright.
Shall we? I think we're ready.
I think we're ready to
Let's get the episode queued up. So this is Season 4, Episode 7, The Reunion. Or just Reunion, actually.
Give everyone another few seconds, and then we'll do our countdown. It's so nice that we actually have a functioning Netflix.
Oh, you know what we should have done? Because there is actually a previous episode that establishes Kayla, who comes back in this.
Well, here we are.
But that's okay. Maybe we'll go back and do that one as a commentary.
There we go. Alright, if you're watching this back at some point in the distant future, before you move on to this next episode, see if we've uploaded a commentary for that episode.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. It might have happened.
Alright, is everyone ready? We are going to count in from 5. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Engage.
Engage. Yeah, you should be saying engage.
I should be saying engage. What am I doing?
Novels.
So
reports. Investigating reports.
Starship LaSalle.
LaSalle.
That low angle is kind of interesting, showing walking back.
Ooh, that's nice. An old shot.
Yeah.
See, it's a little bit grainy.
See a bit of the ISO going crazy in the shadows.
I really someday want one of those panel consoles on a wall with the backlit panels.
You get in the house and go beep, 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 and it turns all the lights on for you.
I mean, I wasn't going to go that crazy, but now
people
that
have done it.
But
people
now that you mention it.
Now, I think this might be the introduction of one of the best ships in Star Trek, which is the amazing Vorchar-class attack cruiser.
Oh, yes.
This one. Master Kayla.
We have that one, right? Is that what it is?
No, I can't find it. I wish we did. Here is the wonderful Susie Claxon as Kayla. Mm-hmm. She also turns up as the female Q later on, the redhead.
Oh, that's her.
And she's also Season 2 Tasty
How
Vulcan.
did I never see that? Oh, she's Season 2 Tasty Vulcan.
Yeah, she's Season 2 Tasty Vulcan.
She's Tasty Klingon, she's Tasty Vulcan, and she's
Tasty
Q.
She's just tasty.
I mean, fair play to her. Jesus.
Commander, what is her name? She's a Vulcan who assists with Dr. Pulaski in like Season 2.
It must be kind of fun to be typecast as the attractive alien.
She's got kind of a sultry look going on.
Oh, she does.
I think she's great.
And she plays, well, she's just really good at acting. At that kind of acting.
Well, she's half human as well. So her character is half human. So she's got like a little bit more of the empathetic side than Worf does.
Well, she also just has a slightly more... she's not quite as angled.
Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O.
No. Oh, no. We did skip the episode where this happens, didn't we?
We did. That's the Season 2 one. So that child is supposed to be 2, even though he's like 5.
Wait, that's supposed to be a 2-year-old?
We'll just go with it. Maybe Klingon kids age quicker.
Alright, there we go. We can do that. We can go with that.
So he means he's a 3/4
it's
Klingon.
It's like Naomi. Naomi ages...
Yeah, she aged, like, by Season 5 of Voyager, she's like already like 9.
They do establish that. They establish that race ages faster.
Right. So they can have, what is her name? Scarlet Polar's player.
Yes. And they keep
Beautiful space movie.
they do. Worf's son, is he in DS9?
He is, and it's the same actor, I think.
Okay, alright.
He comes back for every time Worf's... There's one episode, like season 6, I think, where he's on a Klingon ship, but he's not doing very well, and Worf has to kind of basically go and sort him out.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's quite a good one. It's good to see him back.
It's our stereotypical, I hate you, Dad.
You weren't there when I was a kid. You don't understand. And you just want me to be like you.
But I love you. But I hate you. But I love you.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, it's, okay, I love you too.
And they come to an understanding.
It's just like Teal'c and
Ryan,
Ryan,
which is very much based on the Worf.
It's pretty much the same
Alexander
thing.
relationship.
It's pretty much the same thing.
Worf's baby mama and never made a maintenance payment. The deadbeat. I do not pay alimony. That is not the Klingon way.
Oh boy. When is it that? Okay, so running through the Worf child comes on the ship. Eventually, he immediately kind of ships the child off to his parents.
Right.
When does he come back as a longer character again?
I think season 5 he's more in it.
Okay.
Now we also have in this episode the introduction of the wonderful Gowron, played by Robert O'Reilly.
Yes, with his bulging eyes.
With his insane huge eyes, and he plays it with such relish. It's just a marvel to behold.
Popping out of his head.
I dare say we wouldn't still be talking about Klingons if it weren't for that actor.
Oh,
and the way he
no.
plays it. Glory to you and your house.
I don't like that. Not even a bite on the cheek for old time's sake. Glory.
Glory
Do it again.
to you and your house. Experience Beige. If you don't know what that is, guys,
please
look up Experience Beige, B-I-J, on YouTube.
It's so good.
It's worth it.
It's so good. It's
Beige means punishment in
Klingon.
That's why he's saying Experience Beige.
Oh, I didn't actually know that's what it meant.
It's like, you will now be punished. It's from the Star Trek The Next Generation VCR interactive game that came out in the mid-90s. And if you answered your questions wrong, it would play that.
Mm-hmm.
It would play Experience Beige.
Oh, okay. I didn't actually know where that came from. You know, I find it interesting the idea of comparing her to B'Elanna.
You know, I think she's a precursor to B'Elanna, essentially. Yeah, exactly.
Just significantly better adjusted.
Right. Maybe she's a less aggressive Klingon human mix.
Yeah.
She's learned to handle it a bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the problem. You'd have serious anger management issues.
Oh, Lord.
Can you imagine working in the dopey Federation as a half Klingon?
I mean, it's a good
They'd
point.
They'd be sending you to HR every other day. Just be like, you need to learn to manage your anger and not slam your co-workers through a wall every time they don't do exactly what you want or imply somehow that you're without honor.
Well, that is pretty much what they do to B'Elanna.
Yep.
But you also probably would... I mean, she seems to function just fine in Klingon society,
Sure.
but...
Oh, Jerry Goldsmith. Now, here we are. Look at that gorgeous
That is
model.
pretty nice.
Which I think the paint was still drying on it when they shot this episode. I think it was designed by... oh god, I should know this. It's the same shipbuilder, the same ship model builder who did the Cardassian ship,
Mhm.
right? The yellow ones. Some of the Deep Space Nine, quite a lot of the Deep Space Nine ships. I think he also built Defiant,
Mhm.
and he built Event Horizon. He worked on the Event Horizon model.
Okay. I saw a very cool 3D print of the Event Horizon ship the other day.
Ooh. So it's clearly the same actor, which is nice.
Except apparently now he's dying.
He's been poisoned.
Ooh.
Yeah, Jerry Goldsmith's a wonderful composer. I think it's fantastic. That Klingon theme has really borne such fruit because it keeps coming. They keep using it throughout Like, even in First Contact, I think he quotes it.
Okay.
At one point, Worf is, like, climbing up a ladder, and you hear, dun, dun, dun,
Epic ladder climbing.
dun, dun, dun. Well, he's running away from the Borg on the Enterprise E.
I think of that Bond film where they're playing the theme while he like looks behind a picture frame.
Oh, right.
I was like, I didn't want to get involved in your shit. I mean, he is an accomplished mediator. I think they forget that.
I still miss the lad's original commentary. I don't think I've listened to that one. Did they do that on in the other place? Because I do like the one they did for the watch party. That one was quite fun.
I've already said the order. I've already said you're going to do it.
You don't have a choice.
Well, yes. You're not wrong about that.
Well, you've got a job to do.
I love how terrified he is.
Yeah, he's like, I was ever going to get killed by Klingon. This is how it's going to happen. I've already been impaled once. I don't want it again. I don't need it again. I don't need a battle through the bombs.
Oh. Ooh, yeah, fight to the death. I love a good fight to the death.
Oh, yeah. Again, great lighting. Whenever the Klingons are on board, they always get a little bit more inventive and atmospheric with the lighting, you know? Same with the Romulans. The Romulans have kind of an interesting look for their ships. They're a little bit smoky, but they're kind of... They're secretive and, you know, they seem to like low light. There's always the Romulan ships always have kind of dusky lighting and everything's kind of green and blue, as if they're just kind of secretly touching panels and stuff. You want to know what they're doing. They're not brightly lit like the Federation ships, or you know.
No, the beautiful bright. Well, they seem to have forgotten that. But we're not going to go too deep.
We're not. Yeah, we need to, because every time we talk about Star Trek, we always end up talking about how much we hate the new ones.
We're trying, guys. We're trying not to. It's just not going well.
Yes, I see John. Right, who's on those?
What has John said?
The other place.
Yes.
But that's an issue for another time, or possibly never.
Find the assassin, and then he goes blood, and now he goes blood. Fall into your blood wine.
Yeah, just drop it.
Oh no, I mean like fall face first into your blood wine. Just the beard. Ends up with a pink beard.
Don't worry, guys. There will be a kind of brief war with the Federation in Season 4 of Deep Space Nine.
There we go.
So...
Am I gonna get my wish? No?
I think he might die off screen, you know.
Aww.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, come on. We need a good face planted.
Look at that. Look how beautiful it is.
Very pretty.
And they even kept the original insignia from the original series and everything. And it's basically the same shape as the original series one. It's just kind of updated and looks chunkier, you know. It doesn't have a thin neck. It's like, aim here.
He's growling.
Angry.
I love that he growls.
He's like stonks. Angry.
Whoa.
He's just so massive, Michael Dorn, isn't he? You can tell, like, look at those shoulders. You can tell he was a football player.
Look at that child. He's so freaking tiny.
Mini Worf.
I mean, all children are tiny, but in comparison to Worf.
I know. Eeny Worf.
I mean, it really just looks like you shrunk Worf.
A warrior does not ask so many questions.
I don't want to be a warrior.
Oh God!
What have you done to my son?
Oh, he's gonna have beef with her, now, isn't he? He knows nothing of our ways. I think he might even say that.
Aww. Yeah, she's definitely more human than Klingon.
Well, that's her doing, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
There we
Oh,
are.
I meant she is more human than Klingon.
Oh, yeah.
So he's a quarter human then.
Hmm. Yeah, Worf's a bit conservative, isn't he?
Yeah, quite. I mean, that continues in DS9.
Oh, yeah. There's that one episode he behaves like a complete idiot
Oh, yeah.
on the on Risa.
Oh, God, that one.
There's like some Christian right kind of cult
Yep.
that decide to take over, and
he decides to help them?
I know he kind of falls in it. You know, that's where Jadzia should have just broken up with him. Anyway, that's for a D Space Nine commentary discussion.
That's for a different...
We'll talk about that another time. I'd totally forgotten that episode until we rewatched it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm glad we rewatched it.
I didn't know I had a kid at the time, guys.
Yeah.
So she's the Federation. She's the Federation Klingon ambassador, which makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
Can't tell you. Or he can't tell her. Then.
Yeah, hiccups.
No, just cut to blood. Oh, these lovely ships.
Oh, look at that. I want to get everything we need to make that scene on our table.
I think we've got nearly everything. We've certainly got some Klingon ships with the wings up.
Yeah, we have two, don't we? Yeah, we do have two. We have the one you made, and we have the
we've got loads. Yeah, we've got
one
the
in the
ones
preset.
too. Yeah. I've also got what is it? I don't have a Vorshar class yet.
We need the Vorshar class, yes.
I was looking out for one.
They're
The last con we went to. Yeah, but it's because there was such an early release. They were like the 16th issue or something. Andrew Kay, welcome!
Oh, hello.
Hello. We're watching, we're in the middle of Season 4, the reunion at the moment. Let me know if you want to watch along and we'll give you a time code.
Yes, let us know.
If not, then just hang out and we'll just chat Star Trek. So this is the one where Worf's long-lost love, Kayla, comes back and she's got a little babby Worf with her.
And Picard has to help decide who killed, or figure out who killed the previous Klingon Chancellor.
It's even rather mysterious.
It is. Yes, they will be. Aww. See, Picard cares.
But in a very professional, measured way.
Yes, I want you to know, I understand. Moving on.
He's not like giving a big long speech about just light and darkness. He doesn't go on about that. Duras must not be allowed to eat cattle. Yes, this is the one where they've got to prevent Duras, House of Duras rising to power, right?
It's true. It is true.
This is a nice way to fold a recap into this episode, isn't it?
Yes. Although I like it where Picard said, I know that you don't like it, but remember, you did decide that you were gonna...
Like, that's what, you said you'd deal with the consequences, whatever they were.
Yep. You would deal with the consequences.
The consequences.
Where did consequences even come from?
That's Scotchbox again.
Okay.
That funny man.
If you haven't watched Scotchbox, he is very funny.
Now, this is interesting, because he knows, like, you can't poison someone if you're a Klingon.
Do have a bit of culture shock when I watch Scotchbox, though. Because he's so youthful and cool.
He is.
And he uses all this youth jargon.
Heckin' delight, he says.
Yes, he uses all this youth jargon.
But he also really likes classic TNG.
Oh yes.
You know?
Well, he plays all the old games.
It's so pretty.
It is so pretty.
I wonder who has that now.
And that still looks beautiful.
Oh, it looks amazing. I mean, it's movie quality, the effects.
Is that the dead body?
I think that might be.
Nice.
There we go,
Yay!
Gowron.
In all of his ISO glory.
And it was also not quite in focus either.
No, that was
Not
bad.
as sharp as this shot.
That was quite bad. I love it.
Burning holes into everything he looks at.
Look, his eyes. Oh, they're like bulging out of his damn head.
We've got some weird ritual where we have to like stab him. Is this to make sure he's dead?
I think it's to make sure he's dead.
Is there a possibility that some previous Klingon emperor was actually some sort of zombie and they do this just in case?
Or some
I'd love to know
emperor
what that origin was.
some emperor pretended not to be dead for some reason.
Right.
Or pretended to be dead when they were, I mean. Oh, with a little bit of extra venom.
I mean,
Well.
do Klingons do anything without just a little extra venom?
Oh, I love him. He's my favorite Klingon. Which you are apparently an expert on?
It does kind of look like these ships, they've just got some sort of atmosphere problem. Like they're so smoky, like, oh god. Oh shit!
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
A bomb!
Oh, it says sparking. It's a bomb. I'm glad that they kept bulgy eye Klingon just continuously. What else do you want to know? There's an explosion.
When popes die, he is tapped 3 times on the head by a silver hammer to check they're dead,
What?
whilst they are called on in their birth name.
Weird.
That's one of those things that there's a story behind why they do that.
Yeah.
They've already decided who the next pope is, and then he wakes up. The previous one wakes up.
It's a bit like how, according to the Catholic Church, capybara are fish.
Oh, don't get me. Yeah. There's loads of those little weird.
I love it. That one I love.
That's got to be the result of some crazy mistranslation, right?
No, it's because during Lent you're only allowed to consume fish, and it was such a necessary protein in parts of South America, they said, okay, you can call capybara a fish.
Oh, that's amazing.
I mean, it is a water mammal, mostly. Well, it's not a water mammal. It spends a lot of time in water.
Ooh, are they going to have a little lovely scene? Ooh.
Is he going to throw her through the wall?
Oh, I'm not sure I'm okay with that. With seeing a Klingon in heat. I'm not sure that's.
We have the Animal Planet for that, guys. I mean, it works, right? It's like, even if you don't want to live in the Empire, you should at least have the option.
She knows.
Oh, yeah. Well, she doesn't know the details, but she knows something.
She knows, yeah, she knows what's what.
I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of with Warp on this. It's like, I know you don't.
This is bigger than both of them, you know.
Well, I mean, it's like, he should have the option. He should have the option to live in the Empire if he wants. Ah, yes.
I've told you that story, yeah.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure they have a special chair for it.
They do, yep.
Designated. Oh, that is an ugly outfit.
Yeah, it's not great.
She's had a lot of good ones. This is not one of them.
I believe she auditioned to be 7 of 9 as well.
Oh, okay.
I mean, bloody everybody auditions to be 7 of 9.
See, I mean, if she hadn't been in previous episodes as other characters, I think she would have been great. But she's just too recognizable at this point.
This is good. He figures out there's a little loophole. There's always something.
Lists the battles they want, so it's a mentoring ceremony.
Sure.
Yes.
See, he just portrays nothing. He's like, I'm just going to listen.
He has such a good stone face.
Oh, I know, it's brilliant.
I mean,
he doesn't give anything away.
It's no wonder they didn't want to play poker with them until later on.
Well. Oh, did we get on the back wall? We got the lovely Probert C.
Lovely.
Which means on some level it is canon. On some level that was the Enterprise. Oh, man.
Oh.
That's why they had to get rid of that model, is because there were bites in it from this scene.
Very good, very good. Sorry, that took me a second.
That's all right.
I got that.
I mean, it's right there. It's quite obvious that that's what it was meant to be.
Yep. Oh, I love they have the Enterprise ship. As in,
They were aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
The thing is, this is long after they've established. This is season 4. They've already established the how the Enterprise C does look. In yesterday's Enterprise, the previous season, but you know, I guess they decided to leave it there for a bit until somebody went, doesn't that look different?
I don't mind. For days. I like that. That was a very good shirt.
Yeah. Picard maneuver.
Oh, I wonder where that planet on the back wall is. Not that one, on the other wall.
Mm-hmm. These swords are pretty great. I don't know who designed them, but I think there's a story behind why they were made into a crescent. Because I think that is a... They are actually quite efficient.
I mean, I can imagine. We saw a bat'leth in Stargate.
Somebody had a bat'leth in Stargate. When was that?
It was over the throne of one of the Goa'uld System Lords.
That's right.
And I think there was another Star Trek reference later in that episode, a very, very subtle one.
Right. There's been quite a few.
Again, rather than practical total with those big chunky things. I'm sorry, I'm always commenting on the practicality of the furniture in Star Trek, but it's just...
They're like plants. They're like potted plants.
Yeah, well, I feel like you would if you are spending so much time off of the terrestrial planet.
I mean, you might be weeks before...
Oh, I would live in the hydroponic lab.
Mm-hmm. Might be weeks before you see a green planet again.
Oof.
Nice mutton chops on him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, part 2 of Obi-Wan, and it's not bad. Okay.
I did see a cool... I have no idea where it was. It was a cool promotional event they were doing for Obi-Wan, where it was a very large building, and with 2 flat surfaces, and they projected the hilt of a lightsaber onto the building, and then shone a spotlight up into the air at night and colored it. So it was just like 2 10-story tall lightsabers.
Fantastic.
It was pretty cool. I'm not a Star Wars person, but it was pretty cool.
Everything's practical except the Starfleet onesie uniform. That is absolutely true. Those uniforms were not great.
No, not the best. Not the best. I like the spine on the back of their uniforms.
Oh, it's great.
Oh, hi, Riker. Have you been in this episode yet? Have any
Not
of you
really.
been in this episode yet? I almost forgot that we have our main characters.
Well, that's one of the things. The Klingon ones tend to edge out a lot of the main characters.
One race uses this. Ooh, yay! Exciting, exciting.
It's unthinkable. The Klingons and Romulans don't like them.
Yes,
They don't
well,
like each other.
isn't this
Are
whole...
without honor.
It's funny, because DS9 did a lot with the Romulans, and it did a lot with the Klingons, but how much of Klingons fighting Romulans did we get? I don't think we got much.
Not
did
really.
We?
I mean, the Kittimer battle was between the Romulans and the Klingons, right?
Yeah. I feel like...
And supposedly the Enterprise C was there as well, because that's when Worf was there. This is the same battle they've been talking about.
Okay.
The Enterprise C was destroyed there, and that's because the Enterprise C came to the Klingons' aid.
Yes.
That's what led to peace between the Federation and the Klingons.
No, I cannot. They will be incensed. That's a great way to describe angry Klingons.
Yeah, incensed.
I love this
He wants them
slight,
angry.
like, sparkle in Picard's eyes when he realizes he gets to piss off some Klingons. I like it.
Ah, she's figured something out.
She's clever.
Does she have access to those? That's a good question. Yeah.
Well, I would think. She's so glad. Oh, I love that shot. That's what we need to set up on our table.
Poor Picard having to listen to hours of Klingons reciting all of their battles.
And he's just thinking, Worf, hurry up.
Yeah.
Ready for the final phase. Oh my god.
Jahoosh.
I love him, he's my favorite.
Right.
Except for the fact that it's a Romulan explosive. Ooh.
Oh, shit.
They really do take that dishonor thing rather seriously, don't they?
Well, he did say, look, I know this is going to suck for you, basically.
Yeah.
This is why.
It's like, I'm sorry, but, we gotta do this.
Well, because he eventually regains his honor.
He does.
And then he loses it again sometime in Deep Space Nine.
Oh, he does, doesn't
Yeah.
he? He's just...
Poor guy, just can't hold on to that honor.
He tries. He tries. I mean, Worf, just accept it. The Klingons are all over the damn place.
No, it wasn't. You didn't have a Federation computer.
He's really good at looking like, I don't know, some kind of really terrifying creature
Yes.
when he gets that facial expression going. Oh, poor Worf. Oh, she's figuring it out.
Yes.
They have very nice guest rooms.
They
on
do,
here,
I was going to say, yeah.
I like how all of her scenes are shot with a just slight purplish, pinkish filter.
I also quite like the way she moves. She's very dancer-like. She moves.
is.
She's got kind of a cat-like grace
She
to her
does.
movements, which I think is very deliberate.
Oh yeah, I'm sure
It's
that's
very
why they brought
characterful.
her back so many times
Yeah.
too. She does the exact same thing as the female Q.
I'm almost certain she has, because also, what's her name? Beverly Crusher, Gates McFadden has a dance background.
She does.
She also does have quite a kind of a dance-like movement.
You can tell, and there's a couple episodes where they make her dance or something. She's like, oh, what did they have to know? Ah, yes. Oh, why are you doing this when you're alone?
This is really dumb.
Call security.
But also, when you're on a Federation ship, you'd think their security would be better. But then they can't seem to lock their own shuttlecraft up, so yeah.
Oh, please, please, don't do this alone. At least, have the door open.
Should have said that.
Oh, why? Why did she do it?
I've forgotten how dramatic these two are.
I know. It's an excellent little two-part soap opera.
Yeah, it's very kind of Macbeth or something like that. It's very kind of dramatic with these kind of betrayals and history and.
It is funny how little we're seeing all of our main characters and just being reminded briefly that they exist.
But I do like.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh shit!
Terrifying.
Oh god! Look, yeah. Well, I mean, suicide bombing was not quite so much of a sensitive issue as it
Well,
is
true, but we'll just skate over that.
Gates McFadden was also a puppet. She was, although she went by Cheryl McFadden. I think,
Oh, okay. Oh,
she had to change her name because she was. Oh no!
No!
Oh god! Poor kids seeing this.
Can we maybe tell him to turn around? Kid, turn around. Oh, he's just dead inside. He's already dead inside. Oh. Oh.
Save the kiddo.
Oh. Well, that child is traumatized for life. Which they don't actually revisit much, if I remember right.
I think it comes up a bit later on.
Maybe in DS9.
Yeah, there's more there. He's clearly like he clearly concludes from all of this that this stupid Klingon stuff is just more trouble than it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
I like that he just runs away. He just can't. He can't deal with it.
Well, he's scared of his Worf's roaring.
Well,
too.
exactly. He doesn't want anything to do with it.
It's also not the best child actor, but he's like 3, so we'll forget it.
I mean, I'm surprised they let a child see all this. To be honest,
Yeah.
A violently murdered mother.
Well, behind the scenes, they're also probably like, so we're gonna put some jam on her face.
Mm-hmm.
You know, have a lick. It's strawberry.
It's ketchup.
Well, it's like with the actress who played Newt in Aliens.
Oh right.
Apparently, she was just having an amazing time.
She was friends with the aliens. Yeah.
Yeah, and she'd just sit there kicking her feet in the water with the aliens in their suits. Oh, Worf, that is terrible advice. And look at her and remember. Oh God.
Well, he's trying to make him into a stoic Klingon child, right?
No, but oh, Worf. Oh, Worf.
which is already him kind of overtaking his role, arguably, because Kayla wouldn't want that.
No, and also...
Ooh, we don't see him without his sash very often.
No. And we see that chair all the damn time.
Oh, the worst chair in the world, yeah.
But also, he missed the table.
I like that, though. I like that it just falls off because he doesn't care. He's
Yep.
like, whatever, fuck Starfleet, I need to go and get my revenge.
But also, poor kid, like, his mother was so sweet and soft and loving, and then immediately, you're a warrior, look at your dead face.
Yeah. Accept your new fate.
No wonder the kid hated him at some point.
Guys, we need some way of tracking where the damn crew are.
Shouldn't we know this?
Seriously, we need a live alert anytime somebody's trying to leave when they're not supposed to be.
It really wouldn't be that hard. Like, when someone has, verification to leave the ship, you just have a log. It wouldn't be that hard.
Maybe doing right of vengeance or something.
Excellent. He doesn't care. He does not care.
Oh, they didn't know that. Shit.
Ooh, nice sword. Maximum stun.
Make it hurt.
I mean, at this angry, basically trying to bring down a bull elephant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Pretty decent fight choreography for a TV show.
Yeah, it's fun. Ow.
I just love how massive their hair gets when they're fighting. Woof! Woof!
I just what? Oh no!
Oh!
Did he do it?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy. Oh we did. Oh we did. Oh.
Oh, it's sticking out of him.
Oh yeah, I remember because I was so shocked that Starfleet just kind of says, "Alright, well, I guess this is just a thing Klingons do. Our head of security just murdered someone."
Guess we can't do much.
But he claimed right of vengeance, so it's fine.
He's gonna get telling off now.
Oh, interesting. Gates apparently has a really good podcast on Spotify.
Oh, okay, that's worth a listen.
We'll have a look.
I do like how all the kind of the character actors from Star Trek have, because there's such a resurgence of interest in Star Trek, they're all starting to do their own podcasts and talking about their memories of being on the show and stuff. It's really nice.
It's really lovely. I like that they do watch-alongs too. You were to pick them all.
Yeah. Is this one episode in which Worf doesn't get his ass kicked? Yeah.
I mean, this is a good point. It's like, if we're going to have Starfleet officers of every different planet and society, we have to have a set rule that, yes, we get that you have different laws, but when you are an officer on a ship, you follow Starfleet laws.
Yeah. And it's interesting that they've managed to get around the possible claim of cultural imperialism there, because you would think that, but then Starfleet is the arm of the Federation, and the Federation have to agree what Starfleet's role was.
And it's Starfleet is governed by all of the involved planets, and serving in Starfleet is completely optional. So you're agreeing to follow their rules.
Right. It's called Investigates. Oh, nice.
I'm sorry. How does he get a reprimand for murder? That just never tracked.
Again, I think this might be a case of the Federation goes, you know what, the Klingon stuff, we're just, that's so difficult. They're not a full ally yet. They're not in the Federation. Mm-hmm. We're just going to kind of let that all... We don't want to get involved in that. But we barely got peace with them at all. Let's just not rock the boat, shall we?
Yep. It just seems mad to me. Well, John, he doesn't need to get his ass kicked because he gets handed a child. He's gonna get his ass kicked for the next 18 years.
Right. Oh God, is that kind of spiked glove thing that they have in that terrible... Oh God, there's a terrible season 1 episode where that shows up again. I'll need to go in a minute, and I'll see you soon. Yeah, the episode's almost over, Omar, so we'll see you soon. Great to have you here. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll hopefully do more of these eventually. We're away next week, but we might be able to do one the week after that. So.
Yes, now that we're figuring this out.
Yeah, well, this was fun.
It was indeed.
We're almost at the end of the episode, so see you, Omar.
See you.
Mind how you go.
I'm actually impressed that it's not the best child actor, but he did keep that prosthetic on.
Yeah.
For a very,
He didn't just immediately pick it off.
Are you my father? Oh, God.
Ah. Damn the consequences.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just...
Well, I mean, at this point, the kid doesn't have anyone anyway.
Yep. I mean, Wolf's going to have to raise him.
Well, no, he's going to ship him off to his parents
to
raise him.
To his Russian Jewish parents. He's like, what? What's wrong? What's wrong with your child? He is so aggressive. He's even worse than you.
They do say pretty much exactly that when they come on board.
Is there any chance that you let him watch his mother's death? He has terrible nightmares, Wolf. What the hell is wrong with you?
Oh, for those of you who haven't seen that episode, that is pretty much exactly what he says. When they hand the kid back and no, you have to raise this kid.
I don't think the Klingons would have recognised it as a murder, so they would not pursue charges.
No. But, they said the High Council accepts that it was his right to kill him. But Starfleet would not.
It's a difficult one.
Starfleet should have said, sorry, you're out, go home.
Right, well, final thoughts on Reunion.
That one's a very good one, and I think it's much better as a standalone event than the previous one. But you need the previous one to have this one, so you know.
I mean, these were obviously made a year apart, and they weren't meant to be... they weren't really meant to be watched back to back, but I think it's a fun thing to do to watch the plot play out like this.
I mean, also, I understand why she had to be killed. That makes sense. I would have loved to see more of her.
It would have been really nice. She's such a great character.
Really great
clearly, the producers felt the same, because she comes back in 8 different roles throughout the rest of the series.
Yes, it's true.
She's always turning up. I think you even see her as... does she come back as a Ferengi or something? No, maybe not. Anyway, good stuff.
Indeed.
Shall we call it there, boys and girls?
I think we shall.
That's coming in at nearly 2 hours, so that's a pretty good sort of stream length.
Indeed.
Yeah. Good stuff, people. I hope you enjoyed tonight's stream.
And thank you for being here for our first trial run of live commentaries.
Yeah, so we will do another of these at some point. We're away next week, but we will be back and possibly do more of these the week following.
Mm-hmm. And we might be able to figure out getting our sound system hooked up to our superior speaker by then.
Yes. All right. And with that, we bid you a good night.